Gabi here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Travis joining us. Hi, Travis.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So Travis is a coach here at Create Your Future. And today we are going to be talking about how to recreate somebody, how to choose a different version of them, and what, especially when there's past history involved with you guys. So yeah, Travis, so how do you recreate somebody?
If it's with somebody in particular that you have past history with and it's not that great, what you want to do is change the story for that person. So in my example that I made the other day, the other video about the SP, I went to bed intending and telling myself this is how it's going to be. And I was dead set on when I wake up, that's how it's going to be. That's how my reality is. That's how she would reflect back to me. Everything would be fine. She would love me. We wouldn't discuss what was going on because it never happened. Now, if you're doing it just in general, you can set intentions. You know, I'm always appreciated by people. I'm valued. I'm respected. I'm a magnet. People are drawn to me. You can do intentions like that for general purpose. Just walking around the store, co-workers, things like that.
So I think the big thing you hit on was that you revised the actual, you know, the night, what happened. You actually revised that rather than worrying about it. You took it and you were like, no, I'm going to revise this and I'm going to focus on what I want to create instead. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And people make it seem like it's more difficult than it really is, and it's not meant to be difficult. It's your mindset. If like that night I went to bed and I didn't like what transpired during that conversation. So I told myself, I'm going to wake up and this is what is going to happen. And I woke up 6 hours later and that's what unfolded for me. So, I mean, it works, and don't take it so serious. It's not meant to be work. It's not a chore. Have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and intentions are a revision on the spot. You know, how I revise people, you know, how I recreate people is exactly revising the meaning of the events, or, you know, revising the events. A big part of it for me is, you know, an instant revision for me is everyone is being pushed out. Like, I'm just going to forget about that and let it go. And I'm going to start fresh right now. And then I focus on my intentions, you know, because for me, you know, knowing that everyone is being pushed out gives me that power that I can go, okay, look, you know, everyone to me pushed out means I've created them to be that. And now, okay, maybe it doesn't mean I'm going to be a doormat, but it means, okay, I created that. Now it's time for me to change that with these intentions to go forward, because I know that my assumptions of the person is what created them to be what they are, right? So, you know, changing the story and catching those little tiny moments, you know, when you're about to say, oh, here we go again. Right?
Exactly. And like you, I tend to laugh at certain situations because I know it's going to change because I choose to change it. Now, one mistake that I've made early on is if something happened with somebody that I didn't like, I would tell them I don't accept this. And then they would say, you know, you have no choice but to accept it. And then I realized I'm verbally telling them I don't accept it when I need to do it mentally.
You know what? Exactly. Because you verbally saying, I don't accept it, that would push them away, because that's
right
from, they want me to accept this, right? You wouldn't feel like the need to say it if you did in your head, I don't accept it, and they're going to change, then they think it's their idea. That's a really interesting point that you brought up. It's not saying to the person, look, I intend you to do this. You know what you're going to get from them? A big no. They're going to be like, oh God, no. You intend me to do it? That's because you think I'm not going to do it. So I'm not, right? But if we intend in our minds, then they think it's their idea. Little secret, you know what? I never take out the garbage, and I haven't done dishes in a long time. I'm not allowed to even touch the dishwasher. I intended it. I never said a word though. Never. No, that's, you know, I think a big part of it too is, you know, focusing on the new way that you want them to be, and creating it, like you said, like inside of our mind, and focusing on the intentions of how you want them to be inside of our mind. And that actually helps to, you know, then they start to think it's their idea. We start to create that in our outer reality.
Hmm. And that's why mental diet is so crucial. You have to stay on your mental diet, be persistent with that. If you do notice some doubts come in, just switch them over to some positive intentions, what you do want to have happen, and they're going to happen.
Exactly, exactly. And you know what, actually, I'm going to bring up, while we've got the time here, we've got onto mental diet, is there's been a question that, you know, you can basically think whatever you want. And as long as you intend that whatever you want is going to show up, it'll show up. But, you know, that's not necessarily 100% true, because everybody's always overhearing your thoughts, and your subconscious mind doesn't know what you want and don't want. It just listens
Hmm.
to your thoughts. So that's why a mental diet is so crucial. You can't just create the, you know what, I'm going to get what I want, but I'm allowed to think negative about it all day. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't actually create. What's going to create your inner world is a direct reflection of your outer world. If that was the case, then, you know, nobody would need to be on a mental diet. Nobody would need to focus on what they want. You know, that would basically say that all of these, you know, people that have been teaching to watch your thoughts and to focus on what you want, that we never needed to do that to begin with. Right?
Right. No,
Yeah.
you're right. And
Yeah.
another thing is once you do change the situation or the person, stay on that mental diet, because if you start slipping, you don't want them going back. Or that's the hot and cold behavior that you talk about all the time. That's where that comes from, is you're hot and cold, your thoughts are going this way and that way, and they're confused. They don't know what they're doing. So
I know, you know what, I've had it so many times where, you know, somebody was like totally into me, and then all of a sudden I started questioning and going the other way, so they went the other way, and I was like, what made you change their mind? And I don't know. And I would get so annoyed with them. Why don't you know? They're like, I don't know, I just woke up feeling like this today. And I'd be like, you know, it was me the whole
yeah,
time, right? Going back, forth, you know, all the past relationship messes I've made.
exactly.
You know, but
I
hey,
used to have the same stuff all the time.
yeah, but that's what we learn from them, you know, always take the learnings from our past mistakes and move forward. I thought, well, you know, maybe, you know, it did turn out that way, but this is what I learned from it, and then move on rather than beating ourselves up, right? So
Exactly. Learn from everything.
yeah, interesting point. So guys, to recap, okay, revise whatever situations and past history you may have with somebody. Focus on what you want them to be. Stay on your mental diet about them. You know, catch those thoughts, you know, as well as, you know, you can even create general intentions like you're appreciated by everybody. You know, some intentions that Travis said there that were actually really, really good. To reflect back in your reality and to start, you know, feeling good, you know, and having people treat you the way you deserve to be treated, right?
Right. Exactly.
Excellent. So thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you, Travis, for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope everyone has a great day.
Exactly. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.